So in order to build business credit, you do need money. I'm not gonna sit here and lie to you guys and tell you that you don't. And what I mean by you need money, you need to be able to pay for the subscriptions for the trade lines, right? A trade line reports as a line of credit onto your business credit score and allows you to build credit. By you paying that trade line each month, it reports good payment history to the business credit bureaus. Okay. So when it came down to doing trade lines and building, I used eCredible, I used Nav Prime, I use I think it's called Creative CEO. I also used Granger, as well as I used Quill. Love Quill. Love Quill. So these are some of the platforms that I used when building my business credit. Now, keep in mind that these platforms have minimum spend limits. That is one thing that I think that some of these companies may have changed. So, for example, you sign up. To sign up is free. That's not the problem for a lot of the platforms like Quill. To sign up is free. However, in order for them to report like good payment history onto your business credit, you have to spend a certain amount. So again, I'm telling you this as of 2024. As of December 2024, you have to spend at least $100 with Quill. And I mean $100 before taxes, right? And for you, like I said, you may not have that $100. You may be looking at a place where you're like, okay, Kaja, I don't have an extra $100 to spend. But you have a vehicle that you can use to go make some money. And if you don't have a vehicle you can use to make some money, we can also talk about, just different ways that, and I'll do another video actually, we'll talk about different ways that you can generate money from home if you have a laptop and Wi-Fi. There's other ways that you can make money without having a vehicle. So if that's where you are, no worries, we got you. Okay. So with the trade lines like Quill, right, you have a minimum spend amount that you have to spend in order for the trade line to report good credit history to the business credit bureaus. So with Quill, it's $100. And I want to say pay attention to the minimums for the other ones like Creative CEO. I believe you have to spend, I believe it's like either between 50 or 75 before taxes in order for them to report as well. When I started out on this journey, I was under the impression that it was going to be lower amounts for minimum spend. But I want to say, like with a lot of the different trade lines like Quill, Granger, a lot of their rules have changed. And in watching the different videos that I've seen on Facebook, I haven't seen a lot of people talk about that. So for example, if you want to build credit faster for business credit, I would highly recommend selecting a couple of the trade lines and spending with them within a month. So for example, let's say you pick 3, whether it's Quill, Granger, and just say Uline for the sake of this example. You're going to want to shop with all 3 of those vendors consistently consistently each month. And I did this for my trade lines for about 3 months overall. Like once I got to that point. If you want to build business credit faster, shop with more vendors each month for like at least 90 days, right? So for example, if you see yourself making that investment now, meaning like, okay, outside of my regular bills, I have an additional $300 that I can utilize towards business credit, right? If you have that money, then go ahead and shop with those 3 vendors. Or if you're an individual where you're like me, I'm going to figure it out and I'm going to make it happen regardless if I have the extra 3 within my budget. If I have to go out and make extra money or make extra money online, then I'm going to do so. That's the kind of mindset that I had when going on this journey, because I had a lot of other things falling into place for me as I was revamping and like kind of recovering from a lot of losses. So yes, I made it happen. And what I would do is I would shop with the vendors on a Thursday, right? I would shop with the vendors on a Thursday, and then on the second Monday, so a Thursday when I would get paid, because I was working at the time, I would shop with the vendors on Thursday, and then I would count, Thursday, and then I would go Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, one Monday, and then I would count that whole week, and then the following Monday, that second Monday, I would pay that invoice. So for me, if I know I'm shopping vendors on a Thursday, like the week that I'm getting paid, right? I'm taking out money to be able to put aside to cover the invoice. You do not want to carry out or drag out your invoices. You want to be able to show them that, hey, I can pay my bills on time, right? So if I know that, like I said, I'm shopping that Thursday, I'm writing down in my notes, in my budget, okay, the second Monday, I'm going online, I'm paying all these invoices. Now, I know oftentimes you'll hear people talk about, oh, they're net 30, they're net 30. That's great. However, from what I've learned from various mentors, and even within my own experiences, it can affect your credit score by waiting the full 30 days to pay your business credit invoices. Don't do that. Shop on a Thursday, count 2 Mondays, pay that invoice, and continue to do that. Sometimes it takes a while for your paydex score to generate. That's why I highly suggest continuously, I also had a Duns and Bradstreet credit signal subscription during that time. Within being able to do that subscription, I was able to see what my paydex score was, see how things were reporting. But I know you're probably thinking like, well, what did you buy? Did you just waste $300 with each vendor? No, I would buy things that I would use within my home. So for example, on Quill, you can buy toilet paper, you can buy paper towels and toilet paper in bulk, paper towels in bulk, printer papers. I actually bought a printer from Quill. Things that I'm actually going to use in my home. Instead of buying them from Sam's Club like I normally would, I would go onto Quill or Granger's site and actually buy those items directly from them. I think I bought like a pack of gloves from Uline once, like some very like long gloves that kind of go, not the traditional ones for your hands, but they kind of go like almost halfway up your arm to kind of like protect your hands. So, and I still have a lot of those gloves, which I love and I use to clean with. But I would say those would be things that I would definitely do as far as like building your business credit faster. Now, if you are in a situation where you're like, hey, I know my situation, I know that I can make an investment as far as maybe one trade line a month, I could probably spend $100 a month. Start there and build from there, and then allows you to be able to set aside a little bit more money. But yes, it is an investment. I will say through my mentor that I had at that time, she was able to help me and like work with me. So with saying all of that, I know that with, like I said, with building business credit, it's important whether you can start out with 3 at a time, great, go forward. I know my mentor at the time, she encouraged me to do 6, but I just knew like I could not do 6 trade lines in 1 month. We're talking about an extra $600 potentially, because if you have to remember, you have to typically spend at least $100 minimum with most of these vendors. If it's not 100, it's at least 50 with each of these vendors. On top of paying my other bills. And at the time, that just wasn't like within a good financial comfortability for me. So I did 3, and then I would rotate between the 3. So if I did Uline, Quill, and Granger 1 month, the next month I would choose, a creative CEO and another vendor to be able to kind of move forward and keep pushing when it came down to building my business credit. It was so funny because it takes a while for like your score to generate. So once my score actually did generate, I was like, oh my gosh, like my score generated, and I had to like text her immediately to let her know like, oh my gosh, we did it.